listening to The Review on the OSG Sports Podcasting Network.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Review. It's the Online Sports Guys College Football Podcast featuring us, the Online Sports Guys. And, well, being that it was the last full week of games in college football and rivalry week and all that other stuff, guys, I think we got a lot to talk about this week. Everywhere from the coaching carousel to off-field shenanigans to on-field shenanigans to who's going to be in the college football playoff and a whole lot more. So hang on to your shorts, folks. This is going to take a minute.
Assuming you're wearing some.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that.
What if you're wearing longer pants?
Most of us probably are, due to the fact that here in beautiful Smyrna, Georgia, as we tape this, it's roughly 38 degrees and raining.
See,
Mazel tov.
Yes.
Thanks to the framing of my camera, I could be straight up Winnie the Poohing it and nobody would know.
Yeah, also known as the most miserable kind of weather known to man.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I guess we got to start with the thing that everybody seems to be talking about, even more so than the college football games, and that's the saga of Lane Kiffin.
Drink.
Which I'll just say is one of the dumber things I've ever seen, in the fact that it just exposes the ruthless business, have no loyalty side of college football if I've ever seen it. What are your thoughts?
Wait, comma, no, comma, I'm shocked, ...
Oh my goodness, Lane Kiffin acting weird.
Yeah, that never happens.
I haven't seen a made-for-TV drama like this since the Thornbirds.
The funniest thing that could possibly happen is he leaves, then LSU's former coach Kelly goes to Ole Miss and wins the national championship this year.
See, now I thought you were going to say their former coach Ed Orgeron comes back, and the two of them Orgeron ends up as one of his coordinators when he goes to Red Stick.
He
wants to come back in coaching. He really does. So we'll see. But
I don't know that Ole Miss may agree to that, but to me, that arguably is the most offensive thing about this all, is the fact that he wants to come back and coach them. He's already said that the team's not good enough for him. I don't know how many other ways you could say that I don't think you're that good, but because you're walking out essentially with a chance to win a national championship at your current place, and you're saying, yeah, you guys aren't good enough, I'm going to go somewhere else. And
well, I don't even
that alone should
disqualify
him from
I'm
coaching.
interested to hear what the locker room has to say with it. And that's who should ultimately decide, because, you know, the kids are going to leave with them already got that made up in their mind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion what's going to get announced later today.
Yeah.
It amazed me yesterday watching games most of the day, how many of the so-called college football talking heads agreed with the idea that he should stick around for the end of the season. No, absolutely not.
You mean the professional SEC commentators or the other networks that don't broadcast them?
All of them, not just the professional SEC commentators.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be like the latest installment of a trend where it's less and less about the football part of it and more about the reality TV side of the whole deal. Now, he's 50 years old, and if his goal is to win a national title as a coach, LSU certainly has a better percentage chance of doing it than Ole Miss. But this is a bad way to go about it.
Not this year.
No, not this year.
Ole Miss is going to be playing for a chance to win that whole thing, the whole shooting match, and have a legitimate shot.
Yeah, and then you run the risk of everybody that's going to jump from Ole Miss to LSU is going to get a bag.
And
how hungry are they going to be after they get a bag?
Yeah, the latest update here in the last hour is he's threatening if they don't let him coach that in the playoff that he's going to just take his whole staff with him.
Bye.
That would be funny.
I'm sure there's some GAs that would love the opportunity to prove their worth on that campus. And fine. I'm serious. Look, at this point, if he wants to go, let me check something really quickly. But look, if you want to go, bye. I'm not in a position to sit there and say, well, yeah, I want to coach my team, even though that I've made a point to want to go. No, you're gone. You're done. You're out the door. You have decided that you don't want to be here anymore as coach. Oh, but I want to. So you want a championship out the door. You want a chance at a championship out the door. But you still want to be employed at a new school starting the second that season is over, whenever that is. No, you've already signed it. You're out the door. You don't want to be here anymore. I don't want anything to do with you. The players are going to go anyway. And just no, that's not how this works. You either sign on for the gig that you got and stay for however long that gig is, or when you sign for the new gig, go ahead, walk down to the post office, sign your change of address kit, file it away, give it to the Postal Service employee, go to Red Stick or whatever the highfalutin suburb is down there in Baton Rouge. Go ahead, grab the moving vans, call Beacons. I don't care. You signed it. You don't want to be here. You're gone. That's it. That's how this works. How many think of in normal business? If you were the head of International Widgets and Coffee Tables Inc., and then the folks on Mars decided, hey, we're the head of Interplanetary Coffee Tables and Widgets. We want you to come work for us. We want you to come work for our Saturn office. We want you to be in charge of everything outside the Van Allen belt.
We're talking about Lane Kiffin, so maybe Uranus.
See, there you go. Maybe that would be his branch office. So you are told, hey, we've got the spaceship ready for you. We're gonna line up Viking 5. We're gonna hit the rocket. You're gonna leave, and you're gonna go to your new gig. No, I want to stay. I want to stay here on Earth, and I want to finish the fiscal year here at International Widgets and Coffee Tables. No, that's not how this. How many other businesses would give a CEO the chance to stay at his old gig to finish out the fiscal year, when you've already signed on to be the new CEO at someplace else? Zero.
And let's be honest, Ole Miss does not want to pay him his playoff bonus when he's leaving right after they exit the tournament at the end of the year.
No, if I'm Ole Miss, I want my buyout money in full, no questions asked.
I want my buyout money. You're not getting an extra bonus as you're leaving to decimate my roster.
Yeah.
Eat it.
To give you even a less complicated example of what John just said, in my business, we had, was it 3 people agree to go work for a startup competitor that was is trying to get established in the business I currently work in. They took a deal with them and said, I can give you my 2 weeks. And my place of work said, nope, you're gone. When am I gone? Now.
Sweet.
15 minutes to clean out your desk.
Yeah. And no questions asked. You're gone now. That's how it works in business. That's how it works in real life. College football is not real life. And this is the screwed up part of the college football coaching carousel, is that they can do this before the season ends. You should not be allowed to poach another coach until the season's over. Baseball doesn't, well, no, I shouldn't say baseball doesn't do that. But business doesn't do that. You don't see it happen in professional sports. You see it happen in college sports. You can do it pretty much on a whim. If you want to wave enough money in front of somebody after week 3, you can have a new coach.
Fix the calendar so this doesn't happen as much. With the portal being where it is, it forces a lot of these coaches' decisions because you've got a set amount of time that you can grab people from the portal, and it pushes up that window of hiring and firing because of that window.
Yeah, you got coaches getting fired in the middle of the season, which that part I get. It happens. Teams get dissatisfied, teams start tanking, they have problems. You want to go in a different direction, but you should not be able to hire a new coach until that season ends.
But you do. It's economics. I get it.
And it goes without saying what this speaks about Lane Kiffin. Loyal, I'm not even sure he knows how to spell loyalty, apparently.
ME.
Yeah. I mean, we live in a college football universe now where players are opting out of bowl games. They haven't
I mean,
opted
I
out of.
get it. I get that. That's the economics of the deal. You're looking out for yourself as a commodity. I get that.
Yeah, and this is different
And
than.
because Florida State had 98 gazillion players opting out and we had an injured quarterback, guess who didn't get to go into that particular season's late season miniseries? That'd be us.
Yeah.
What do you think that says about a coach that wants to decide that he wants to stay or leave?
Yeah.
And you're involved in that same miniseries. Just saying.
Yeah, and I can't believe this is the topic that dominated conversation when you had one hell of a good week of college football games, but yet here we are.
Drink. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of those games, guys, why don't you say we start talking about them because there's going to be some interesting fallout from what happened here over the past week.
No bid league. No bid league.
Yeah, that would be your friends at the ACC here, which we'll get into in a few minutes. Just a brief mention of Tuesday's MAC action because UMass completed the offer. Their first year in the MAC, they go 0-12, 0-8 in the conference, and they are officially your toilet bowl champion as the worst team in college Division I college football this season.
Did they get relegated or get the first pick?
I'm pretty sure they're close to relegated. There's not much of a step they can go below where they already are.
Relegation. I don't think they could afford the salary cap hit on the number one selection.
They're going to have to play Mount Union in order to keep football on campus.
Big shout out to Navy on Thursday. Navy goes 7-1 in the American Conference this season. They take down Memphis 28-17. Nice win for the midshipmen. Moving on to Saturday's action. Might as well start at the top of the rankings and work our way down. The rivalry game, the game that Marty was most excited about going into the weekend. Ohio State finally breaks the jinx. They beat their rivals, Michigan, and resoundingly so. They will be the number one seed going into the college football playoff, as they should be. 27-9, good performance again by Julian Just Saying. 19 for 26, 233, and 3 touchdowns. Did Ohio State answer any questions that we had about them being the top team?
How could they not? Dude, they haven't lost a game in a calendar year now. They lost 14 guys to the draft, their offensive and defensive coordinators, and just kept rolling. People that didn't have to face that, how many of them are undefeated? Who else is undefeated? Indiana?
Yep.
And they're playing each other.
Yep. That's going to be one hell of a good game.
Oh. And the best part is I don't care. Anything that happens after this week's gravy.
Both teams, I think, will be in the playoff. Indiana playing Purdue. Indiana wins 56-3 in a game we don't even really need to go into any detail about.
Also, shout out to Michigan for trying to cheat again, turning off the comms and power on the Ohio State sideline.
They put up a fight for about a quarter.
I mean, Ohio State showed they can beat you in multiple ways, which they've been doing all year. They give you nothing with their defense. They can grind out long drives. They can hit you with big plays. I mean, it's going to take one heck of a game if they're going to be knocked out. But if anyone can put a game plan together, it might be this upcoming week.
Yeah,
it might be one of the games of the year.
Yeah.
the one thing you can say about Ohio State right now is they have not played any close games or much competition outside the first week to really push them hard. Curious to see what's going to happen if somebody steps up and goes blow for blow with them, which I think Indiana can do.
This is going to
in
be a great game.
Indianapolis.
I just got to shout out
Mhm.
that defense. Michigan had -8 yards rushing in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Bo Jackson outgained the entire team for Michigan.
He's Bo Jackson, of course.
And my favorite part of the whole broadcast, though, was seeing that Michigan planned before the game to defend the M in the middle of the field for flag planting. And Ohio State didn't try.
Mhm.
They went in the stands and sat with fans and celebrated.
And that's a good thing.
And I got to give Ryan Day credit. You know, he went out there to Sharon Moore and said, Sharon, we don't want anything to happen. We're not planting flags. We need to get everybody off the field so we don't have stupid stuff happen.
Yep.
Mhm.
Credit to both coaches.
Big on him. And then I don't know if you guys saw his post-game press conference. He's like, I thought about what I would say after I got this win, and I'm choosing to win with humility, as to show what we are as a program, what we are as people. And I thought that was very classy, considering all the stuff he went through last year, having to have security at his house after the Michigan game and all that. That speaks volumes about him as a man, not just a coach.
Yeah, respect to him. I will say that Coach Moore did a good thing having that conversation with Day and both agreeing that they did not need to do anything that would cause some problems out on the field after that game.
I heard the conversation from the mic. Day told him.
Moving on down the list, your number 3 team, Texas A&M, takes a loss. That one surprised me a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But yet it didn't. The tale at two halves, for lack of a better way to put it. Texas looked awful in the first half of that game, but yet somehow ended up putting together a pretty darn good second half and ended up winning that game.
That was
Now,
pretty
Marty,
surprising.
never been to DKR, but how much of a home field advantage is it actually when it's rocking like that?
It's loud.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't sway like when you're in Wisconsin and they do jump around, but that volume, it's not designed for acoustics, and it is loud anyway.
It looked like a crazy scene. I mean, that crowd was on one Friday night.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's the advantage of playing a later game.
Yeah.
Arch Manning had an awful first half and looked like a completely different quarterback in the second half. Much like Texas.
Wow.
And I give credit to Steve Sarkisian and his staff because they made some adjustments at halftime. And like I said, tale of two different teams, two different games, whatever you want to call it. Texas gets the
He
win.
was 6 of 8 for 128 in the second half.
Yeah.
I guess
this means
can't
we
wait to
should all
hear.
go down to the. Let's just go down to the corner bottle store and buy out all the champagne. He went 6 for 8 in the second half. Congratulations! It's more the adjustments
Wow,
of the
that's
coaching staff after that
amazing.
ridiculous first half he had.
I just can't wait to hear the conspiracy theories of gamesmanship and the SEC just trying to get more people in the playoffs.
I don't think Texas is going to get into the playoff as much as they would like to. They're
Not so fast. My
They are
friend.
on the fence. I think there's a couple
I know
teams-
they have quality SEC losses, but they have a really, really ugly loss.
Yes. And
Sorry, John.
Notre Dame did not get penalized last year for losing to Northern Illinois. So we'll see what happens here. The decision's going to be made on Tuesday. I think there's going to be
Brand name.
I think there's going to be a couple of teams that are going to have a tough argument to get themselves in and are going to be left out. Moving on down the list, the Georgia Bulldogs, clean old-fashioned hate against Georgia Tech. That was clean old-fashioned ugly football. It was.
What happened at the end? What happened at the end? Georgia won.
Georgia
They maintained
won.
their spot.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but
Much
they got
like
the-
shingles, Kirby doesn't care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you do during the game as long as you walk away with a W.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. Georgia Tech put up a good fight. The Georgia offense looked confused, for lack of a better way to put it. Didn't know what to do with the Georgia Tech defense that had given up 40 points 2 out of the 3 previous games, and yet held the Bulldogs down to basically scoring 1 touchdown in the entire game. The Georgia Tech offense couldn't get much going either, though. Georgia's defense played a pretty good game. And
Georgia. One thing about Georgia, they remind me of like a great golfer or tennis player. They're good enough to play just well enough to win whatever game is in front of them.
mm,
Whatever that opponent presents, they can adjust it week to week.
Grind out that 67 that you need in the final round.
Yep.
yeah, and there's something to be said for that. And it doesn't matter how you win as long as you win.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, Texas Tech, they get the easy win over West Virginia, 49-0 in a game that wasn't even that close. Texas Tech will be playing for the Big 12 championship against BYU. BYU barely got the win. They go down 14-0 in the first quarter to UCF, and then come back and outscore them 41-7 in the next 3 quarters.
It's always good to have a wake up game before a conference championship, though.
Yeah, we'll talk about those conference championship matchups here in the second half of the show. But interesting games nevertheless. Moving down the list, Oregon gets a win over Washington 26-14. Good performance by the Duckies in a tough place to play at Husky Stadium. They will not be playing for the Big Ten championship, but likely will end up in the playoff with an 11-1 record.
Yes.
Your number 8 team going into the weekend, Oklahoma. Oklahoma beats LSU in another game that was painful to watch. I didn't watch too much of it, but I watched about a quarter or so of it.
Why?
As good as Oklahoma's defense is, that offense is just as bad. Oh my God.
How do you play a rudderless team that close?
They got just enough offense out of John Mateer, who I think is highly overrated as a quarterback. They made some horrible throws. Yet ended up 23 for 38, 318, and a couple of touchdowns. Oklahoma.
Did you ever think you'd be talking about Oklahoma having the defense carrying the team?
Yeah.
Well, that's.
Are we in Stranger Things? Is this the Upside Down?
Yeah, this is the old Bizarro World sketch from Saturday Night Live.
Well, back in a previous.
All we need is Tim Kazurinsky wanting a delicious glass of sand, and we'd be okay.
Back in a previous life, several generations ago, that's what got all these teams to where they were, to be the name brands. Oklahoma was a powerhouse defensive football team, but you're talking.
And they ran the wishbone too. Where's the wishbone? Damn it!
You're talking 30, 40 years ago. I don't know that they've got enough of an offense to be offensive or win anything in the college football playoff, but look for them to make it in there. One team that's going to be on the fence, although the name brand recognition alone probably will get them over the hump, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. They take on Stanford. Excuse me. Easy win there, 49-20. Notre Dame 10-2 on the season. Did they get in?
Who were their 2 losses to?
Their 2 losses were to the following:
and Texas A&M.
Yeah, the first 2 games of the season.
Yeah, it's a math equation. That's what it comes to. A math equation and a mini series. That's the mixture.
Mini series
sounds like a T-shirt.
Yeah,
mini series matters more than head-to-head matchups.
Yeah, we'll see how much the head-to-head part comes into play since it was the first week of the season. We talked briefly. We didn't talk briefly about this, but a game that John attended in person. Alabama gets the win over Auburn in the Iron Bowl, 27-20. And
I'm going to sit back now.
Yeah, I'm going to let John talk about this because I watched it too. It was a strange game.
It was. End of the day, Alabama ain't nothing. What we found out was
Overrated.
if you have a defense that is worth its salt, can put pressure on the quarterback. Auburn's defense did two things. They kept Ty Simpson in the pocket. They kept contain on him the entire day. He was not allowed to beat you with his feet to the outside. So if you have a defense that can put pressure on a quarterback, keep him contained, and force him to make decisions inside that pocket, it's going to be a very long day.
And it was.
Especially for Ty Simpson, if you bring pressure to him in his face, not blindside pressure, but literally if you bring in strong side pressure, he's forced to make decisions faster than I think he's normally used to this season. And that kept them on their heels all day long. So Auburn's defense gets credit for that. And the couple of things that were Auburn's defensive downfall, one, the number of penalties and the number of untimely penalties, and especially penalties that were of the personal foul or longer than 5-yard variety. Tackling is another thing that they need to work on. They're not the only team in Division I that needs to work on this, but they need to work on their tackling and the moments of indiscipline, for lack of a better word, that kept Alabama in drives as the game went along.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn specifically, when you have your third quarterback this season and an offensive line that is having to basically try and figure out how to keep that quarterback upright 3 times in a fall, you've got an offensive line that's still trying to figure out, okay, different cadence, different behavior. When is it tuck and run? What does he do? It's difficult for that offensive line to function. And so in that offense with Ashton, with Ashton at quarterback, if it wasn't there immediately, literally it was 2 steps, drop, beat, nothing happened. My first receiver's not there. He tucks and goes. And so the offense was fairly pedestrian because of all of that indecision and still getting to know you. Literally, if you had offensive linemen that had their names on the fronts of their helmets, that would probably help things along. Auburn's offense has a long way to the offense has a long way to go. It was awful most of the day. But it was the penalties and the key moments and the 2 turnovers that they had. Alabama did not turn the ball over. Auburn had 2 turnovers. One was at the most costly moment of the game when Cam Coleman fumbled as they were driving to try to get the game time score. Alabama ain't all that. But because of the brand name and the appearance in the SEC championship game, they will be a part of the miniseries. Of that, I have no doubt, win or loss.
Correct. That being said, Auburn still had a chance to win the game late. The Cam Coleman fumble was just painful and unfortunate. Mm-hmm. And what's even worse is hearing about this morning the threats and online hatred directed toward Mr. Coleman, who is arguably one of the best wide receivers in the game today.
Guaranteed he is not on that campus next season.
Nope. He'll be in the NFL. He's a damn good football player.
Bye-bye. He's gone.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I will say, I will give Auburn credit. They have some potential. And it's clear just watching the team at this point of the season as opposed to early in the season that was one of the things holding them back was their coach.
And it's still holding them back. It's still holding them back.
They're still lacking a coach.
Absolutely.
It was just made official a little later.
But I will say this. If the current individual that is the interim is named the full-time head coach, this should be a full-time indictment on Athletic Director John Cohen for the lack of a search committee, not just no effort into it at all. You want to just go ahead and promote DJ Durkin for whatever reason. And what I would ask is if anyone is thinking of DJ Durkin as a head coach, I will give you a name, Jordan McNair. That's all you need to say. That's your Google search for today. Jordan McNair. Do a DJ Durkin, Jordan McNair search. Then the search should be over. Just saying.
Won't be curious. Auburn is one of those teams on the carousel waiting for somebody to partner up with them.
It's going to be DJ. It's going to be DJ Durkin. Here's how it's going to go.
They didn't even
promote-
bid for the guy from North Texas.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
You
and
know
they
something
haven't
stupid's about to happen.
and they haven't chased that hard after John Summerall at Tulane, who I think was probably going to end up at Florida.
Yeah. Here's how I think it's going to go. He's going to be named. The first question from me or anyone in that press conference should be to the athletic director. Why did you think that he was the man, the off the field version of DJ Durkin? There's no doubt about his defensive prowess, but I want to know what it was off the field of DJ Durkin that you thought was going to be a good head coach. I want to know that aspect of it all of it all. And that to me would be the larger question when it comes to hiring that individual. And how deep was your search, which I imagine it was not, because DJ Durkin is economically feasible, as we say these days.
Yeah, but they ain't floating in money.
No, they're not.
He already lives
And so
there, but he has a ton of baggage.
Yeah. Moving on down the list here, Miami gets their final win of the season to go to 10-2, 38-7 over Pittsburgh in a game that again wasn't that close.
And Pittsburgh had a 7-0 lead. Come on now, people.
No, they didn't.
I thought they did.
Nope.
Oh,
Miami, it was 3-0 after one, 17-7 at half Miami.
shows you how much I pay attention to the University of Coral Gables anyway.
Yeah, I think the Hurricanes are a team that's on the fence at best for the college football playoff. I'm not going to say they won't be in there, but boy, they're going to have a tough sell.
One bid league. No bid league.
The next game was a game that was a lot of fun to watch because it was one of our favorite players, the one and only Diego Pavia, who should be the Heisman Trophy winner this year, but probably won't be.
His brother won some silverware at the game.
Yes, that's true.
He put on an absolute freaking show as Vanderbilt just stomped on Tennessee 45-24 at Neyland Stadium. That was impressive. And Vanderbilt's a pretty damn good football team. They ended up their first 10-win season ever. They go 10-2 overall, 6-2 in the SEC. I give you again the question: is that enough to get them into the dance?
No,
When
they'll
you
take
do
a
the math, it's probably
three
not
loss
gonna work.
better brand.
Yeah.
We'll,
Yeah.
we'll save the
I don't think
math
so.
for the second half of the show, but there aren't that many spots available.
No.
unfortunately.
No, they'll just. Why don't they just go ahead and expand it to 16 and not tell us?
Oh, wait, that's
Yeah.
going to happen.
I mean, like this year, it's like, and we got a special. It's a very special blossom. We're expanding to 16.
Yeah, and that there within lies the challenge with
With
tournaments
6
like
automatic
that.
SEC bids.
No matter how, and rightfully only 3 for the Big Ten.
Okay.
But I digress.
Yeah, I agree.
Vanderbilt certainly worthy of mention in that grouping, even if they don't get in. And I really hope Diego at least ends up in New York.
He better be.
Because
Well, if he's not in New York, he'll be at our s'mores cookout and coffee clutch that we have at the campfire later on when the season's over. He'll be at ours if he's not in New York.
moving on down the list here, the Battle of Los Angeles, USC with a win 29-10.
Not much of a
Decent
battle.
for the Trojans, not so decent for UCLA.
No.
Virginia.
The one thing that was interesting about that was flipping back and forth between that and Illinois Northwestern just for the weather difference between downtown LA and Champaign. Sorry, go ahead.
The contrast.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
Where I want to be and where I am.
Yeah.
Virginia takes a share of the ACC. They get to play in the conference championship game. They beat Virginia Tech 27-7.
Here comes 7-5 Duke, brother.
Yeah, good season for the Hokies. They go 10-2 overall, 7-1 in the ACC, which debatable how much of an accomplishment that is, but yet it happened.
The Cavs. The Cavs went 10-2.
Is the American better than the ACC at this point?
Yes.
Debatable. Speaking of what the ACC again, SMU, their season finishes on a sour note. They lose to Cal 38-35.
Unbelievable.
Tulane finishes off the regular season with a 27-0 win over Charlotte. Not a
They should
surprise
have.
there.
No.
Tulane, they've got a shot to sneak into as that group of 5 team.
Well, if Duke, I love Duke. If Duke wins, then there are percentages that would allow both Tulane and James Madison to have a better chance than and then another team number 12. So you could have an interesting 10 and 11 and before you get into 12.
That would
Uh,
be awesome.
Now with
I would
Tulane
love
and North
that.
Texas, you have another situation where a coach is already leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Although officially Tulane has not lost their coach just yet.
No,
Hasn't-
Morris
North
is heading to
Texas has
Oklahoma
lost
State.
their coach.
Yeah, Morris and his staff are going to Oklahoma State, but it's already been agreed to that Morris is going to stay through the end of the deal before he goes to Stillwater. So, mhm,
Interesting.
mhm.
Uh, the Dabo Swinnies finish off their season 7-5. They beat South Carolina in their rivalry game 28-14.
Proceed.
Speaking of
Meh.
Oklahoma State, they finished their season 1-11, 0-9 in the Big 12 after they lose to Iowa State 20-13.
Yeesh.
Yeah. Big win for Delaware. Mrs. Wilkie gets to celebrate. The Blue Hens would have been bowl eligible. They finished 6-6, 4-4 overall as they crush UTEP 61-31.
Oh,
And no post
don't
game
they know those
handshake. By
coaches
the way.
have families?
No post game handshake because Delaware went for the late score and UTEP's coaching staff was pissed. So the Wilkerson household in their second season of Division I FBS football, they are both bowl eligible, but neither are going.
Yeah, that's right. Because Missouri State, they played Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech gets the win 42-30. Both of those two teams finishing at 7-5. Your Conference USA Championship game, Jacksonville State gets the win 37-34 over Western Kentucky. They will face off against one of our in-house favorite teams, Kennesaw State,
Who do you, who for all of you?
they got the overtime win. 40, was it 44-42?
48-42, double overtime.
48-42 in double overtime. I'm going to try and find that game when it's played so I can watch it because it's
Friday afternoon at 6 from
Hmm.
Am South in Jacksonville, Alabama.
Yeah, a little home field advantage there, but that's okay. It should still be a pretty fun game.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of going down the list here. Missouri gets the win 31-17 over Arkansas. Penn State finishes with a win 40-36 over Rutgers.
They played reasonably well the last 6 weeks after Franklin left. I mean, they could have easily won the Iowa game and the Indiana game.
Yeah,
Who
who would have
knew?
guessed that they had talent at Penn State that wasn't being used? Who would have
Oh,
knew?
God.
Um,
Unbelievable.
Shout out to James Madison. They finish off their season 11-1, 8-0 in the Sun Belt with a 59-10 win over Coastal Carolina.
Got to put up a marker.
The Florida Gators trounce John Seminoles 40-21. Oof. Oof. Florida State's not good.
Those not
No.
watching the video version of this podcast just missed something nice.
Here, I'll do it again.
Big
That's
shout
the
out.
Katie's middle finger segment of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to Jaden Ball of the Gators who carried the ball a lot. He ran the ball.
John is again calling Phil number one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am number one.
And my defense number one.
Yes,
And
Mr.
my
Ball.
offense.
Mr.
And
Ball
my
carried the
coaching
ball.
staff.
Mr. Ball carried the ball 38 times for 266 yards and a pair of touchdowns in the win. Nice performance there.
Putting
You
that
give up
vote
as
of
many
confidence in
yards
good use.
on the ground as you almost had yourself in total offense, people. This is a coaching staff that you're saddled with for a $53 million buyout for another couple of days with your head coach. Give it 2 days, it drops down to like $45 million, but you still have him and the staff as your coach.
Yep, they got the dreaded vote of confidence, so it looks like it will be there for next
They
year.
can't afford the buyout.
John Fox,
The only dread there is for the fans, not for the staff.
John Fox, you're fighting Illini, get the win late, 20-13 in the Snow Bowl at Champaign.
Fantastic visuals.
Proper
Here's
football.
a fun fact about Illinois. They got 8 or more wins in the 3 times in a 4-year span the past 4 years. The last time that happened was 1901 to 1904. I mean, I don't know if that means they are a storied program or they're an epically, whatever the opposite of a storied program is.
That
But
was
what a job
before
by
I was born.
yeah. What a job by the AD and Brett Bielema to get them even relevant again. Yeah, even though some thought they might make the playoff this year. Who cares? I mean, they're decent again. I'm loving every minute of it.
Loving every minute of it.
Doom, 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 doom. Saw that coming.
And lastly, I'm going to talk about the Fighting Bill Belichick's who go down in flames in their rivalry game against NC State, 42-19. Ends a 4-8 overall, 2-6 in the ACC season for the Belichick's. All we can say is, I wonder who's going to coach them next year.
Girlfriend.
We'll
Provided she's not in any cheerleading tournaments.
Arguably, she may have been coaching them this season.
Just no. Just say
the
no.
The only one from the Belichick coaching tree that really made an impact in a positive way was Matt Patricia, I think.
And that's because he was at Ohio State and not North Carolina.
Correct.
Oh, my God. I'm just thinking what Ohio State could have done previous if they hired him earlier.
Well, he's busy trying to expand his NFL career back then.
Just make it stop.
Yes. Guys, I think we should put a wrap here on the first half of the show because we have prattled on for a long, long time. When we come back in the second half of the show, we're going to talk about Conference Championship Week, which won't have a full slate of games, but there'll be a whole lot of them. And other news notes and things left unsaid. All that more, we return for the second half of the review. You're listening to the review on the OSG Sports Podcasting Network.
Please like and subscribe.
Over here on the OSG Sports side of things, we talk football. Football. College football version here with the college football review every single week. But for those of you that like not just football with 2 O's, but football with a U, Futbol, there's the Soccer Down Here Network. I'm John Nelson. I host the morning show on Soccer Down Here along with Jarrett Smith, Nick Alifi, Jason Longshore. And if you're looking for the best information when it comes to the world of soccer, based in the southeastern United States, but we don't leave anything off the table. 9:05 Eastern time until 11 whenever. Sometimes we go for a while. SDH Network morning show, soccer's morning show, Monday through Friday, plus all the live events we do. It is your place and your source for soccer that is based in the Southeast, but covers everything on the world. SoccerDownHere.net, the Soccer Down Here app, available iOS and Android through our friends at Spreaker. That's like speaker with an R in the middle. Spreaker, do a search for OSG Sports, do a search for Soccer Down Here. All the soccer content all in one place. It is the SDH Network and Soccer Down Here.
Thanks for sticking around, everybody. You have made it to the second half of the show. This is the part of the show where we're going to talk a little bit about Championship Week because all the conferences in Division I are going to be talking about their championship game, and that could have some impact on who's going to make it to the college football playoff. We'll start with the game we mentioned in the first half of the show that won't have an impact on the college football playoff. That's the Conference USA Championship game, Kennesaw State at Jacksonville State. I would like Kennesaw State to win this game, but will they win this game? That's the question.
I've got to go with friend of the network, Charles Kelly. I really do. With what we've seen from them offensively, injuries have kind of decimated Jerry Mack at key positions. And like I said, if Jerry Mack does not get any kind of conversation and consideration when it comes to Coach of the Year, it's a disservice to what he was able to do. They were picked basically to pick last in the conference after their transition to Division One and Go Five football. Jerry Mack has done a fantastic job. I think that you're probably going to see the juice boxes have Jacksonville State at about a 2.5, maybe a three, 3.5, somewhere in there.
Even worse is Kennesaw State. After week 1 this season, Kennesaw State was in the ESPN bottom 10 list.
Yeah, but I mean, Jerry's done great work. You've settled on a quarterback. You do have some key injuries at skill positions that you've kind of had to nurse your way through at the end of the season. But I think that, like I said, friend of the network, Charles Kelly, I think they get the job done, and it will be a chant of "Go Cox" at the New Orleans Bowl with Jacksonville State.
Yeah. They do have home field advantage, the game being played at Amherst Stadium in Jacksonville,
And that'll be the difference,
Alabama.
I think. Yeah.
Should see a packed house at that one.
No
Your other early game on Friday, your Sun Belt Championship game, Troy at James Madison, 7 o'clock kickoff on ESPN. That game being played at Bridgeforth Stadium in Harrisonburg.
Yeah. Yeah. Got to go with James Madison here. I think it might be a long day for Troy.
Would have to agree with you. I think it's going to be
that school's just a machine. They keep marching.
Yeah. We had talked about this earlier in the season. It's also one of the prettiest stadiums in the country.
That's a beautiful campus.
It will not be football on a budget. I'll guarantee you that.
Oh, no. 1 week out, you're getting price tickets already $91 and not even close to the least expensive game on the board.
That's pretty good, though.
Mm-hmm.
For that quality of football, that's good.
Another good quality game on Friday, North Texas at Tulane, your American Championship game. That's going to be a barn. I like this one. It's going to be a barn.
That's going to be a fun game.
Look for points to be scored.
What time is that game?
That's an 8 o'clock kickoff on ABC from Yeoman Stadium in New Orleans.
Oh,
prime
North
time.
Texas on a proper television.
Well,
I can't tell you the last time they played on something that was over the air.
Prime time.
mean, think about this. Yeoman Stadium, New Orleans, Louisiana, at night.
Drivable distance from Denton, by the way.
Starting your weekend, or maybe ending your Friday. I don't know. But think about all of the possibilities. Yeoman Stadium has traditionally been football on a budget for us all season long. I'm hoping it will not be, but the party atmosphere would be a must. If you got nothing going on, go to Yeoman for this one. It's going to be great football. I'm not picking a winner. I'm picking the total and go over.
Mm-hmm.
Go over the total.
A total could be over 90.
Game. And a hell of an experience, too.
Easily.
To start your weekend in New Orleans.
I mean, what's North Texas averaging? Like 40 points a game?
Pretty close, if not.
Yeah. Go if you're anywhere close.
This should be one hell of a game. And your final game that night, UNLV at Boise State.
That's the exact opposite of the North Texas game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a party atmosphere in Boise.
Your choice to watch is obvious.
8 o'clock kickoff at Albertson Stadium in Boise by the French fries. And
I'm taking beignets over French fries all day long.
Yeah.
Beignets over baked. How about that?
Another game I'm not sure I really want to pick, but I'm not really that interested in either way.
I mean, just no. Look, just have it on multi-screen experience while you're at Yeoman. Make sure that your device is at 100% so you can watch it.
Wild first year for Dan Mullen, though. He played in a variety of places and weather and all sorts of
Yeah,
nonsense.
that reminded me. Maybe I will take Boise State since I'm not a big fan of Mr. Mullen.
Reason enough.
Yes. Moving on to Saturday, a full slate of games all the way beginning at noon with your first game of the day, BYU at Texas Tech. This game played at Jerry World,
Mm.
uh, noon kickoff Eastern time on ABC, 11 a.m. Central.
I may have to check on those tickets. I usually buy them early in the season and flip them.
Right now you're getting price 1 week away, $169.
That's face. Depending on
Yeah.
as long as that isn't the general mission, that's pretty much face.
I like Texas Tech in this game. BYU has been shown to be vulnerable and struggled at times. Texas Tech has not. They have one of the best teams money could buy. I do not see them losing this game.
I think it's going to end up being another one of those games where Texas Tech feels they have to put up a number, and I think they'll do it.
Not much comment from the other half.
Well,
Well,
BYU has a puncher's chance.
I mean, if BYU loses, then it opens up the whole last couple of at-large bids for conversation. That'll be a really interesting one.
Yeah,
Depending on how
kind of
they
like
lose.
those.
If they do.
Yeah, so if BYU loses, a brand name gets in. I think that's how it goes.
Yeah, 4 teams battling for one spot. That will be interesting. The other noon kickoff, your MAC championship, Miami of Ohio versus Western Michigan. At Ford Field in Detroit, you're getting price 1 week away, $25.
All right.
Yeah.
When somebody from Ohio plays somebody from Michigan, you know who I'm pulling for.
Yeah.
So does that mean that they're going to call them Western Michigan?
Well,
Probably.
they don't cheat, so they got that going for them.
Which is nice. One of the two big games of the night, 4 o'clock kickoff at Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. Georgia and Alabama, round 2.
They're going to force both teams into the playoffs anyway, so I don't care.
Yeah, I mean,
I
look,
take the under in this game. I
think that's your first pick is the under. I think
I
that's
don't
your first selection.
think either team's going to score a whole heck of a lot of points. Georgia's been a little bit more consistent than Alabama has in the second half of the season, so I'm going to say Kirby breaks his voodoo hex that Alabama seems to have over him, and they get the win in this game.
Yeah, it's going
I
to
don't
be
know if the bye-
right.
They're
Take
playing
the
for a
under.
bye, Georgia is, but I don't know. Last year that didn't matter, but it might this year.
Yeah, I think after the Georgia Tech game and then this game, they would need a bye to catch their breath.
Yep.
Ahead of the playoff. Should be an interesting matchup. Look forward to seeing that. And then there's the biggie. The 8 o'clock kickoff on FOX.
Thank
Indiana.
God it's not a big noon game for once. Jesus.
Yeah, it can't be. Indiana and Ohio State.
I defer to our B1Gers here on the show.
Yeah, I'll let Marty talk about the game, and then I want to hear what everybody picks and why.
No, this is the game you're waiting for. No BS, no, two coaches that have been they've knocked everything out this year. That might be the best game of the weekend.
I think it will be the best game of the weekend.
I just want to see, is there a hangover from last year? Because when they matched up last year, that was kind of rough. But both teams have been humming. I just want to see how they come out. If they're coming out loose, if one team's coming out tight. I'm kind of worried about Indiana coming out tight. What say you, Mr. Fox?
I just don't know. This will be a test to see how good Indiana's offense really is.
Mm-hmm.
Because if if they can't score, then it really doesn't matter. Ohio State's going to find a way to put up enough points to win. But if Indiana can go toe to toe with them, I agree with you, Phil. No one has stood up to Ohio State this year, and it'll be interesting to see how they react. I mean, this isn't for the national titles, so it'll tell us a lot about what the next month could look like.
No, and it's inside on turf. Oof.
Yeah.
Ohio State, I think you would guess is faster. I don't know overall. Playing on turf that might matter, but
Speed
much
kills.
like much like the games last year, like with the Big Ten title game, it told us a lot about Oregon and Penn State, but in the end, it didn't really matter in the national championship side of things. So
John,
I think just
what is
go
our
ahead.
get in on that game?
Right now, the early line on that game, 1 week away, you're getting priced $361 at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis.
That's single-handedly going to change the economy in that state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There have been more expensive games this season.
Yeah, that was the price coming into this morning. It's just going to go up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What's the get in at Yeoman?
Getting at Yeoman is $69 right now.
Nice.
Thought you were going to say 6-7.
No,
Ha ha ha
no,
ha ha ha.
no, no, no.
Mr.
Not
Nelson, your
happening.
thoughts on this game?
Take the over. I want a street fight. I just want the game I want the game to go 3 hours and 45 minutes, and I want to see who survives. But I
Yeah.
don't think the loser drops a whole heck of a lot.
No.
I think that no lower than 4 is going to be
Remember,
the
these aren't
bottom of
SEC
this.
teams.
With the eye test, these are probably the two best teams right now. The eye test doesn't always win games.
Mm-hmm.
As much as it would be fun for me to say that Indiana wins just so we can give Marty a hard time, I'm not sure that they do.
You got to score to win. And I
Yeah.
mean, how many points has Ohio State given up the entire year?
Yeah, they haven't
Like
played.
90
They
total?
haven't played
Was it
anybody
93 or something like that?
Total.
Yeah.
either.
93 total.
They haven't played anybody even closely resembling how good Indiana is this season.
Is Texas good?
They're
Not
slightly
on offense.
Texas is slightly above average, and arguably not even that on offense.
Just saying, you haven't lost in a year. It's sooner or later you're going to have to call them good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that they're not. These are the two best teams right now. If you had to write it down and say who's the best, who looks like they are the best team in college football, it would be one of these two teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
No question.
That's why I think you won't have. I think the loser of this one drops to number 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, if chalk works its way through on the mini series, then your championship game could be those two again.
Yeah.
So they don't meet before the semifinals. You'll have to stagger them out. So
This game will set the bracket for sure.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
This one, I think the loser goes no lower than 3. And I think that it presents the opportunity for them to meet in a championship game only. You don't want to reset them in a semifinal.
Right. This is what I could easily see happening if Georgia beats Alabama. Georgia becomes your number 2, and Texas Tech becomes your number 4 if they win over BYU.
I'm still pulling for chaos.
Oh, chaos
I am
makes
too.
it
Don't
much
get me
more fun.
wrong. I want Duke to win so we can see what happens at 10, 11, and 12. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where the arguments are going to be, because right now there is no consensus on who those teams are. All those teams have a good argument to say that they should be in.
And consensus doesn't matter when it comes to the committee.
No,
Let's be honest.
it most certainly does.
That committee meets not far from where I live. I'm going to drive by and honk the horn.
You and about 1,000 other people.
Just scream at them. You're liars. You're not ranking. You're doing TV programming.
Yeah. if I were to offer up a list of who's in at this point, I think Notre Dame gets in.
Oh yeah,
I think Alabama gets in no matter what, as long as they don't get blown out by Georgia, and I don't
agreed.
think they will.
No,
BYU drops out when they lose to Texas Tech.
yeah.
Miami gets in, and then it's just a matter of who's that other team.
Miami Notre Dame rematch.
Oh,
That would be fun.
make that your 6-11. That'd be
Oh,
fantastic.
Yeah.
gotta see if I still got my Catholics versus convict shirt.
Yeah. One note for the coaching carousel: your new head coach at Arkansas, Ryan Silverfield of Memphis.
Keep an
Um,
eye out for Auburn. The early word now is Alex Golish from South Florida in 6 years.
did I not
So
just? I think somebody may have brought that up a little earlier in the show and got poo-pooed. I wonder who that was.
Who?
who?
Me.
Yeah. So it is out in the ether. It is, as we are talking, not yet official, but it is being linked. It has gone from conversation to being linked, and we are not quite to the white smoke yet coming out of the athletic offices, but we'll see.
But
And I
Twitter
think
is getting warm.
it's a good move for Auburn. I think he can bring some stability to one of the most unstable programs in the history of college football. Um, I like it if they go that route and
Yeah.
look for John Summerall to end up at Florida, Kiffin to LSU, and then the question becomes who ends up with the Ole Miss job, because that would be the only job of significance out there at that point.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out who would be on page 2 that would be economically feasible for a page 1 gig.
Yeah,
If Kelly goes there, can he work out some sort of trade to avoid buyouts?
Well, I mean,
not only
Dan
is Kid,
Mullen.
that would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That would
Mullen,
be
well,
really
but the thing
interesting.
is, does UNLV have the money? They said to Mullen, yeah, we do. No, we don't. Yeah, we do. Does UNLV have the budget that they promised him?
Like, did
It's Las Vegas. If they needed the money, they could find it. If they wanted to pony up and pay, they could. Whether they want to or not's a different issue.
Penn
Mm-hmm.
State still got an opening, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They too could be left out, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a former NFL coach end up with that job.
Yeah.
I could see Brian Dayball dabble
Yeah. Dayball. Yeah. I
and
could see that.
ending up with that job because I think that would be a good fit for both him and for Penn State.
Yeah.
That name hasn't really been thrown out there. It's just my thought. But I think that might be a good fit for them.
Yeah. I think it might be.
Hey, Phil, quick question about your teams in the playoff. Just to make sure I have this, we're thinking the right way. You have 5 from the SEC, 3 from the Big Ten, Notre Dame,
Miami and Virginia.
Miami,
That's
Big
13.
12. Yeah, that's why. And then a group
Oh,
of 5. There's one. There's
then
one
it's going
less than you think. I think.
then it is going to come down to Miami and Notre Dame, and that's going to be an interesting debate.
Yeah, if they only played head to head.
Yeah, but the committee always says week one doesn't really matter that much,
Until it
Unless you're
does.
an SEC team.
or Big Ten team.
No, everybody says that the Texas
Although,
win doesn't count.
we can't say that because there's only 3 good teams in the Big Ten.
Yeah, SEC is much different.
Uh,
It is much different.
There's just between good teams and good brands.
mm-hmm. So yeah, it is as we're wrapping up, it looks more and more like Silverfield is taking over in Memphis. 50-24 in 6 seasons at Memphis, taking over for Mike Norvell. Maybe Silverfield could have taken over at Florida State if they could have afforded the buyout, just to kind of follow that path.
And and Silverfield only has a couple of hour drive west on I-40 to get to Little Rock, or not to get to Little Rock, to get to Fayetteville.
Fayetteville, yeah. So But yeah, we'll see. So it looks like 2 gigs in the SEC might be locked in, and obviously we'll talk about it a little bit on the X, and we'll figure out what it looks like, 1AA and D2 and D3, and maybe some NAI as well. So we'll see what happens in the midweek. I don't know. A couple of other divisions have already started their playoffs.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully we can stop talking about Lane Kiffin by then.
Wait, one last
No,
question. Who do we get fired? Who do we get fired this week?
Hmm.
Well, it might be deep. Well, I was going to say, does an interim count?
No,
No, rats.
because technically they're not the legitimate head coach.
A good question.
Mike Norvell might be the only possibility.
Yeah. They find 45 million under the seat cushions with the
Yeah.
sofa pizza.
Yeah, FSU doesn't have the money right now to do that.
Nope. As much as I'd love for them to.
Have to go to the state capital.
Yeah, there
Yes.
may be some of the less prevalent schools that may part ways with coaches, but really, what do you do at this point? The cycle's almost already complete on the carousel.
They're just praying
Fine.
somebody tries to steal them.
Get your hot coordinator, or you try to poach. One of the two.
Yeah,
It will not be pretty.
yeah. Actually, you know what? I mean, Memphis has an opening now.
True.
South Florida's going to have an opening right now.
Tulane.
Tulane's going to
Texas.
have an opening.
North Texas.
Mm-hmm. There are some jobs out
and
there.
it looks more and more like Summerall's heading to Florida.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday, and that's why I mentioned it, because I'm pretty sure that that's a done deal at this point.
Yeah.
And not a bad fit for them. Certainly
Nothing like a championship game with 2 lame duck coaches, which might be the best championship game short of the B1G.
And I think one name that'll be interesting on the coaching cycle for one of those jobs as they pop up could be Glenn Schumann, the defensive coordinator for Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah, that one. Schumann has popped up a couple of times, either in conference or not. Maybe it's Schumann to Ole Miss. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, Kirby's defensive coordinators have already look what happened with Dan Lanning. He was the coordinator for them when they won the championship, and he's been wildly successful at Oregon.
Yeah, they just don't play Chattanooga State. Except when
that
they
was
play,
last week.
Except when they play teams at the beginning of their schedule that are along the same lines as Chattanooga State. Just saying.
Yes. Guys, what do you say we wrap things up? We have prattled on long enough. Prattle your word of the day.
We don't prattle.
We
have
dilly-dally.
blathered.
We don't prattle. We might dilly-dally, but we don't prattle.
We definitely blather, though.
Nah.
For the entire OSG sports team, we hope you had a great Thanksgiving and got to watch a lot of college football, because we did. It was good stuff. And thank you for sticking around while we talked aimlessly for the last hour and 15 minutes or so. For the OSG sports team, thanks for tuning in. Have a great week. We will catch you again next week. Bye-bye.
Who says we're aimless? We always have great aim.
Please like and subscribe and finish off those leftovers. Otherwise, you might be getting sick.